OJ, vitamin C, still recovering, but I'm doing better, much better. And I tell you what, this COVID thing allowed me to pump out videos like this one. What's going on, the code X? What's going on, cuz? Thank you so much for being here. And Black Light Revelations, what's going on? We're about to talk about this, all right? We're about to talk about this is what happens when you don't have, I hate to knock the dude, but like men who think like men speak about issues pertaining to men. Because they say dumb stuff that makes absolutely no sense. And they're going to find other men that follow suit and say, yeah, he's right. Like, oh my gosh, the sheer stupidity, the immaturity, it's asinine, it's ridiculous that men can say such things. Yo, I just don't get it. Like where do we go wrong, people? That men can't be responsible, men can't be leaders, right? Because in this space, you got men saying that men are the leaders, men do this, men do that, we're the lead, but you can't lead in the area of dating to the point where if it's after 5 p.m., you can't practice self control and lead the relationship that way. Oh my gosh, I swear. Do women really exist simply to be at the sexual beck and call of men? Like, yo, and I know I'm about to get hit with the simp word. Like, you guys are about to be in the comment section. You a simp. Yeah, I know you're a simp. You can say whatever you want. I am a man fully secure in my manhood, and I accept responsibility for my actions. I take accountability, all right? And prove it. I take care of my kids, right? I just, it's frustrating. I'm about to show you guys a video in a second. Shout out to my boy CP, the artist, just on a phone call with him. And he told me about this. I had no intentions of going live, but he hit me up and told me about this video. And I was like, yo, I've really got to respond to this. And shout out to Tony Gaskins for responding to Kevin Samuels. Um, Kevin Samuels is definitely incorrect, wrong, and extremely subjective and biased in what he said. And what's going on in the chat? Like, I'm going to get to the chat. I'm going to get to the chat. I promise. Nicole says, I would really like to see a group of married men such as yourself get together and form their own manosphere type space to discuss marriages and relationships. I wish I had my air horn. My air horn is on the other side of the basement because I'm quarantined here. So I'm not leaving and going in that area of the basement. I went real quick to grab some stuff that I needed. Then I sprayed down and I'm back here. So I don't got my equipment. Got my camera, one light, my little Surface Pro. But yeah, you're right. I think husbands really, because his was crazy, right? We don't have solid men that have solid relationships, right? With solid people speaking about this in the manosphere space. We have broken men who have been brokenhearted and have been jaded and callous, and now they're trying to create this narrative that men are far more superior than women, and women exist to be at the beck and call of men. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. That's what we're trying to do. Listen, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. I'm serious. We're going to create a whole different space on YouTube that promotes solid families, solid marriages, and even if it is imperfect, we're going to help try to bring happiness in this space because that's what we need. We don't need men who are habitually single, who are content, who have been hurt, and they think that their experiences should lead a specific narrative. Your experience is your experience, right? That's it. If you're trying to create happy couples and happy relationships, especially within Black families, you got to change your narrative, bro. Telling women that they shouldn't date after 5 p.m. if they're not interested in having sex is not the way to do it. Now, again, shout out to Tony Gaskins for responding to this. I'm going to show that video real quick on Instagram by at Spiritual World. And we had a decent response, and then I'm going to get into it. So without further ado, let me share my screen, and we're going to talk a little bit about this after the fact, all right? So first, I'm going to play what Kevin Samuels said, and then I'm going to play Gaskin's response, and then we'll get into it, all right? Check this out.
And understand, when I mean dates, I mean nighttime dates. Ladies, if you don't want sex to be on the table, then don't go out after dark.
Oh my gosh.
If you go out after 5 p.m. with a man, sex should be on the menu. If you want to keep it strictly platonic, Date between the
I do this
hours
with my
of
students.
12 and 3.
They laugh about it.
And understand, when I mean dates, I mean nighttime dates. Ladies, if you don't
All right,
want
so that's
if you
what
don't want
Kevin
sex to be on
Samuel
the
said. Now let
table,
me tell
then
you
don't go out.
Mr.
Somebody
Gaskins'
sent me a
response.
video, and it was a gentleman telling women that if they
Shout
don't
out to
want to
Kevin
sleep with a
Gaskins.
man, not to go on a date after
Tony
5
Gaskins.
p.m.
I said Kevin Gaskins. Tony Gaskins.
I'm all for personal responsibility. So what I'm finally realizing is what women have been telling me all along. Is how about we stop telling women to have these crazy
Fair use,
restrictions, and we start telling men to be more responsible,
It's crazy.
to grow up, and to mature. How about we tell men that just because you take a woman on a date at 7 p.m., it doesn't mean she owes you her body.
Air horn. Air horn.
We got to do better. We got to keep growing.
Shout out to Tony Gaskins for his response to Kevin Samuels. This is the problem. We have men that believe this way leading the space. And there's women that's going to be like, yeah, he's right. Maybe if I shouldn't date after 5 p.m. because I'm not interested in, maybe I should go that route. Again, putting all the onus on the woman. How about you, Kevin Samuels, start speaking to men and start encouraging men to be men and tell men, if you go out on a date with a woman after 5 p.m., after 7 p.m., at 9 p.m., you should not expect for that to happen on the first date, second date, third date, or any date. That should not be an expectation. That is a very secular, evil type of dating format that, like, you're going to go out on a date just so you can have sex with a woman? Like, this is the type of men that we're trying to create in society today. Wow. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. Hold on. I got a cough. I'm going to mute my mic real quick. I don't get it. I don't understand. Wow. So, and men like Gaskins would be considered a simp because he's not out there trying to smash every female out there, right? Well, he's married. Thank God he's married. But again, like any other man that would align with Tony Gaskins would be like considered a simp because they're not trying to take advantage of women in that way. And I think you're right, Nicole. We really need to start creating content and communities that offset that because, again, in another 10, 15, 20 years, the state of relationships, specifically in the Black community, if people keep following men like Kevin Samuels, like two young men from Miami, Fresh and Fit, all of them, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble. Like we're not in a place now anymore where we're trying to raise men to be men and train men to be men, right? We're trying to create men who consider themselves better than everybody else, right? Live in a society where women cater to men and only that. There's no reciprocity there at all. And that's going to create even deeper hurt and turmoil within relationships, specifically in the Black community. Why do you guys allow yourselves to listen? Unless you guys, like you guys say, it's just entertainment. For a lot of people, it's not just entertainment. For a lot of people, they're watching, listening, taking notes, and trying to apply the things that these men are saying. There's spaces in this platform on YouTube that is extremely toxic, both from the men's perspective and from the women's perspective. Because women, you guys are not absolved from this either. You guys follow a lot of these toxic women out there that encourage you not to be the women that you should be in a relationship, to take advantage of men as well. But I'm not here to talk to you guys. I'm here to talk to you men. Okay? If you're a lady and you're watching this, you need to watch what you intake as well because it's going to affect you. But men, you guys got to watch it, man. You guys really need. That's why I posted up a video. I'll leave it in the cards. That these men are resources, not mentors. We got to stop looking at people that, even myself, you got to stop looking at people that you find on YouTube and consider them your mentors. They're not. Honestly, you are a number to them. You are a subscriber. You are a view. You are potential advertising, source of revenue for them. So they will tell you anything that you want to hear to keep you listening, not necessarily the truth, but not what's going to help you in your situation. You telling a woman not to go out on a date with a man after 5 p.m. if you're not expecting to have intercourse is stupid, one-sided, biased, dumb, asinine, completely subjective. And I can go on with the adjective. I can go on. I can go on. It's not right. It's not right. And I think that it's problematic. Not at best, like at all of it. It's problematic. So I think that I'm thankful that men like Tony Gaskins, and I don't follow him too closely, to be perfectly honest with you, right? A couple of years ago, I was like, yo, who is this light-skinned dude with light eyes telling women how to find men? Like, who is this dude, right? So after that, I was like, yeah, I don't really need to watch Tony Gaskins anymore. But sometimes he be on point with certain things, you know. So I'll give Tony Gaskins his props, especially when it comes to his response to Kevin Samuels, right? Because what we're doing is we're putting the full onus on the women. Now, there could be an argument made for women and say, listen, be careful, right? Be careful with going out that late because some men may expect it. Make sure that you make sure, like without a shadow of a doubt, that that is off the table from the jump. Make sure it's off the table from the jump, okay? That's why this way there's no expectations. But men, where are you leading in the dating phase? Where are you leading? Like that's a poor way to lead anything when you're taking a woman out to eat just because you hope to get some action later that night. And then you wonder why men have so much drama in their relationships. It's because you're choosing wrong and you're not leading the dating phase properly. You're not. You're not. So you go out on a date with homegirl, right? And she gives it up on the first night. Let's just talk honestly, right? Man to man. She gives it up on the first night. Now she's hooked. And now you're like, yo, like what's wrong with her? Why is she so clingy? Because she gave you the goods. So yeah, in essence, she's thinking, I invested this in you. You're mine now. Just like you, my friend, invested some dollars that night and you're thinking, well, you know, I should get the goods that night. It's stupid. It's asinine. This is why I tell people, when you go out on dates without any expectations. Zero at all. Even, and I'm going to say this, ladies, you're not going to like this. Even don't expect for the man to pay. Don't expect for the man to pay. He's probably going to because that's what men do. But don't expect him to pay. Okay? Go in there thinking, we're just getting to know each other. I have no expectations. I just want to see who this person is. So I'm willing to go Dutch on the first date. Just be willing to. Okay? He's probably going to cover it. All right? But whenever transactions happen, people think transactionally. So if I'm paying this, I'm expecting to get something in return. For guy, a lot of times they're thinking, if I'm paying for dinner, I'm going to get something in return. Ladies, be wise about that. But men, gentlemen, at the same time, if you're interested in a lady and you offer to take them out on a date, be willing to pay first. Second, don't expect anything other than getting to know the lady. Don't, man. You guys get into these kind of situations, and then 6 months down the line, right, you find yourself in a situation like Martin Lawrence in the movie A Thin Line Between Love and Hate, because you're playing games, because you're only focused on the goods. Tony Gaskins was absolutely right. Kevin Samuels was dead wrong. Dead wrong. You know what that leads to? That leads to superstars, right? Superstars going on dates with IG models, right? And after they're done with their business, they got to put hot sauce to protect their seat. That's what happens. That's what happens, right? Instead of finding somebody and saying, let me get to know this person. This person's nice. All right, now I'm going to start investing in them. All right, but you know, I'm going to save the best for last. I'm going to save the best investment for after marriage. All right, the investment of my seed, the investment of my insides, right? I'm going to save that for marriage. But no, we're not trying to do that, right? No. We're telling women, if you're not trying to invest the insides, then you need to go out before it gets dark, before 5 p.m. If I had my sad trombone, wow, I would play it right now, because it's absolutely dumb that we would tell women that instead of telling men, yo, how about keeping your snake in your pants? How about stop expecting to take a girl out? You know what? When you take a girl out and you're paying, you're investing in getting to know who this person is. All right? Which is why I always say, ladies, not going to like this. Fellas, don't go all out on the first date. You're not trying to impress them. You're just trying to get to know them. So in essence, Kevin Samuels might be slightly right. Take him out to coffee, you know. All right. But again, just because you go out, you take a girl out on a date after 5 p.m. doesn't mean that she's going to give it up, nor should she be expected to either. All right. Now, and I'm gonna say this is why Kevin Samuels is on YouTube, and he's claiming to be a Christian of sorts, and even using the fact that he served as a singles ministry leader at a couple of churches, and that gives him the Christian black card to throw around, saying I'm a Christian, so listen to me, I know what I'm talking about. No, there's nothing Christian about telling a woman that if you're not trying to give it up, then don't go out on a date after 5 p.m. There's nothing Christian, nothing biblical about that. So guys, be careful, especially if you're trying to serve God, of the advice that you're receiving from him. Okay, you guys may not like this, but it is what it is. And again, I'm not here to down him. He has his audience. Let him speak to his audience. All right, but I'm talking to you as people who want to be men, and especially men who would like to be a man that honors God. Be careful. Be careful. Ladies, if you're looking to honor God as well, be careful what you intake, because not everybody out there that claims to be what they are is who they are. All right. So let me get into the chat. What's going on, everybody? When you watch Kevin Samuels videos, he contradicts himself all the time. He's not giving Christian advice at all. If he told me the sky was blue, I would have to go outside and check for myself. Yeah, facts. Facts. All right. And now I'm getting into the comments. So if you guys left any comments in the chat before, please do me a favor and copy and paste it and leave it again, because I'm not sure if I'm going to scroll up, because it's a lot. All right. It's a lot. All right. So how about a walk around the park and listen and learn? It's free and you will learn a lot. I agree. I agree. And as he said, smash that like button. If you're watching and you're receiving any kind of value from this, please hit that like button. Even if you're not receiving value from it, you can support the channel just by hitting the like button, because it tells YouTube that this is something worth sharing and other people will get to watch this as well. So do that now for me. I appreciate it. All right. I don't watch KS. Yeah. And here's the problem with people like KS, right? He could probably give some good advice some of the time, but just because he gives some good advice some of the time doesn't mean that, all of his advice is good. And if some of it is just completely against the word of God, like the advice he gave to that, to women about not dating after 5 p.m., I got to question everything. I'm going to be honest with you. I have to question everything. Kevin does contradict himself a lot, and I wonder how people don't point it out. And I think people need to. People need to, if that's the case. CP the artist, is that a bad thing? I missed it. What did CP the artist say? I missed it. I'm gonna have to scroll up now, because now I'm intrigued. Lunch dates are nice. You can spend more time with them if you want, but also say you have to work and do as an excuse if it goes bad. Yeah, you could during the day. Don't steal my bars. KS ain't no Christian. No, he's not. No, he's not. Yeah, and shout out again to CP the artist for sharing this with me, because he's responsible for me sharing this and talking about it. Glad I caught you. Men always want something. If men are spending resources, they will eventually want something, period. Exactly. Exactly. KS. All right, hold on. Late to the live. We'll watch the replay. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Tony's response was dope. KS is keeping men single. He is. He is. At least men at my financial tier. I'm at that place where I am what many would consider the high value person, but at least from the financial aspect. But even then, not really telling them how to find the right woman. He's just telling women how to be what he feels women should be. Extremely, extremely subjective. This is why I love this channel. If these men are looking for fatherly advice, they need to talk to Drake. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I love you too. I appreciate that. A broken clock is right twice a day. True. True. A broken clock is definitely right twice a day. Kevin has a following of men that want to validate their anger, not to find good ways to deal. You're right. Not to find good ways to deal with such anger. And again, and his response to this, and I'll tell you what he'll say. He'll say he's not a therapist. He's not a counselor. If you need help with your anger, go see a counselor. Yeah, but the problem is the advice he's giving helps fuel the anger, and he doesn't see that. So you're telling them to go to a counselor because of the advice you're giving them. Yeah. He said my profile pic reminded him of his ex. Is that CP the pickup artist or CP the art? Let me stop. let me not mess with my bro. The problem is most people don't know themselves. How can anyone find a mate without knowing what you want? Yes. Or what would make a good mate in the first place? Right? Oh, my wife is about to order dinner. Yeah, because like I'm down here, so we're about to order dinner. And all right, let's do it. Hold on. I got it. Let me just write my wife real quick. All right. Yeah. Who else? KS is dealing with women in a way I wish the church would. Now, I think that the honesty, the conversation piece that he's having should definitely be spoken about in church, but from a biblical perspective, from a more balanced perspective that doesn't create a culture where men would essentially step on the necks of women for society to function. So I think that's problematic. When you go without ulterior motives, you tend to create less pressure in the environment to make something happen. Yes, you don't got to impress. Like, let's not date to impress somebody. Let's date to present our true selves, and let's talk. Let's get to know each other. Do our interests align? This way, if my time's not wasted, your time's not wasted, we can agree to be friends and move on. Forget the ulterior motives. Forget it. That goes for ladies too. Because let's be honest. Hold on. Let me go. Let's be honest, okay? There are ladies out there that will go out on dates just so that they can get a free meal and have a good time. So relax with the ulterior motives, people. Relax, okay? Both men and women. Exactly, no salt. Living a flavor for life, removing the salt. He's laughing. At CP, the artist. Good. Thank you so much. Yep. When a man talks about being high value and showing character and integrity isn't on that list, he's not the one to follow. I don't have my sound effects. I would play it if I had it. Sorry, guys. So if I mute, it's because I'm coughing. You seem to be doing a lot better, Dre. I'm doing much better. I'm trying to get out of this basement. I need to be around my wife, my kids, the world, my students. I need to be out there. I'm tired of being down here. I'm tired. Yeah. If you want to test each other's character and resourcefulness, go on dates with a low budget limit. Men's resourcefulness will be tested and women's character will be tested. Wow, that is deep. Applicable. I like that. These men aren't looking for healthy relationships. They claim they want traditional women. Yeah, but they don't have. Yo, that's deep. Yo, let's stay there for a second. They want traditional women, right? But then want the woman to give it up on the first date, second date, third date. And then if they don't, they get rid of the woman and try to find somebody else that would, claiming they want traditional women. But a traditional woman would tell them, and CP, the artist, and I was talking about this a half an hour ago. A traditional woman, a good woman, would say no, which would indicate to the man, she's a good one. Let me keep her around and get to know who she is. But instead, they throw the good ones away, right? They throw the good ones away, right? Get the bad ones. The bad ones play them. Then they go on YouTube talking about how all women are like the bad ones that played them because they played the good one. Listen, why are we listening to these boys? That's I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. True. Much love and respect to you, sir. Thank you so much. Much love and respect to you too. I appreciate you. All right. Why do you think he's stepping on women's necks? I honestly don't see it. I'm talking about anybody that thinks that men are far more superior than women in society. Okay. As if there's not a balance where women and men complement one another to make this world work in the first place. That's what I'm referring to. But you're not like, he's like physically stepping on women's necks, but creating a narrative where the men are far more superior than women. I don't align to that. I think we complement one another, and there's certain roles that we play that help complement one another. I have feed more women than that. Yes, in the church, if you have a problem presenting who you are, do a personal work and don't date. This comes from a woman who has made greater than 6 figures for decades with a husband. Shout out. Yep. Foodie calls. Hold on. Okay, see, Peter Art is going to get me in trouble. Yep. I've had that happen before. Yeah. Please support the channel. And guys, if you haven't hit the like button, do that right now. Greatly appreciate it. Instead of women and men going on YouTube trying to determine how to find mate, try therapy. Yes. And work on yourself. Work on yourself. We lost our way when we started treating romance as a game to be blamed and thinking that winning ends with sex and not finding love. And I'm glad that you put the 3 in there. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. What else we got? No salt is goals. Yeah. Listen, and that's the truth. It's the truth. So listen, I think that we really got to focus on things that's really going to benefit both men and women, right? Telling women that if you're dating somebody and if you go out after 5 p.m. and you have no interest in giving the man the goods, then you shouldn't be going out on a date. I think that's dumb. I think it's stupid. And men, if you are going out on a date and you're expecting the goods, I don't think you're ready to be dating. I just don't think you're ready to be dating. If you want anything serious, like men are out there trying to play and really, let's call it a buck, practicing a source of manipulation to try to get the women in bed in the first place. It's pretty much like, and I'm gonna say it, and I say this respectfully, so hopefully I don't get like flagged. A man who is willing to pay a woman, all right, woman's meal, expecting to have, intercourse at the end of that, is essentially thinking of this woman as a sex worker or prostitute, because you're paying in hopes to get that kind of return. Not giving money, but you're giving a specific type of resource, food, in order to get that. And if you're looking at women like that, then you really don't need to be dating, because you're in no place to be, trying to provide security for a woman. Because essentially, when a woman is going out on a date and they're getting to know you, they're trying to find out if you as a man or a real man, you're going to provide for them, you're going to secure them, you're going to make them feel safe. And making them feel uncomfortable by pressuring them to go to bed with you because you paid for the meal is definitely not going to make her feel safe. So ladies, if you are dating a man and they expect, that's a red flag. You need to run for the hills and dodge that bullet. Men, if you're in a situation where you have a lapse in judgment and you tell her you expect that and she gives it up, again, you have fell for it and you're not really the man that you claim to be. It's a hard truth, but it's the truth nonetheless. Hey, coffee and lunch are safe. Dinner is a whole. What's going on, Harry? Yep, dinner is a whole level of commitment. I don't know if that's a whole level of commitment. I think that's just a matter of food preference. If we go out to eat at night, I'm not going to pressure a female to have intercourse with me just because we had dinner. The level of commitment is if we here's the thing. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that too. It just hit me. How our ideas of commitment have become so skewed with flesh, right? Men think I paid for dinner, so you got to give it up to me, right? And that's a level of commitment that we expect women to give it up for. But if a woman says, I'm not giving it up until I get married, she's considered a prude or so like what level of commitment are we expecting for that to happen, right? So we got to have a deeper discussion. What's going on, Papi Blanco? Thank you so much for being here. Excuse me. We are two people who knew what we wanted. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm about to end this here. I've been on for now about a half an hour. I don't want to go too long. I'm about to, but I wanted to come in and do this video. I wasn't planning on going live today, but CP the artist showed me that video, sent it to me in my Instagram, and I was like, yo, I gotta respond to this and give a shout out to Tony Gaskins for doing that response as well, because it was timely. I wouldn't do anything less than dinner, mostly because I enjoy eating good food. So I'm out food, so I'm out so that we can have good food, because bad food can ruin a date. I don't have to. Yeah. Thank you so much, Nicole. I appreciate that. I'm almost out of it. My throat's a little raspy, but I'm almost there. I need to be in the world again. I never liked the scale. Again, that scale is extremely subjective as well. It's not scientific. It really isn't. They claim it is. They claim that it's part of the. It's non-scientific. It's extremely subjective. It's not true, and we got to stop using that metric. That's not a number. It's a person. It's a time. Yeah. So it's yeah. But you're right though. You're right. All right, guys. I got to end it here. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have not done so, hit the like button. Hit it now. All right. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. And by subscribing, you'll be joining the Harrison Extended family. Thank you for joining the family. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/Harrison Family Vlogs, all in one word. And you can join our Patreon community. And if you would like to join, hit the join button right down here. And you can join the Harrison Extended family through membership by doing that as well. But I greatly appreciate you all. Thank you guys so much for coming through and being a part of the conversation. I really appreciate it. And until the next upload or live stream, I am out. Peace.